Hello, welcome to Billy Ho Sports emergency coverage of the Saratoga Saturday Whitney Stakes Day. All kinds of crucial updates surrounding the weather conditions. So we're going to have to make some adjustments, whether you're a seasoned fan or new to horse racing. We got you covered. I nailed the exacta yesterday in the Hall of Fame yesterday with Neat and Lagginos 2-horse box. They paid $55. I was really excited about that. I really thought I wanted Lagginos to win that race. He was obviously the bigger odds. Instead of 7-2 over 8-1, I could have had 8-1 the other way. Kept the favorite off the board. It was really, really nice hit. Gives me a little cake to start the day off today. So make sure you subscribe and like. And in the comment section, I got an important question this time around. What do you usually type in the search bar on YouTube to find your horse racing content? Just out of curiosity, so maybe I can help you out more with the way I word my descriptions and titles and whatnot. So anyway, if you have time, if you haven't done so, jump on X and follow me at Billy Ho Sports 2. Let's get started with the weather. Well, this sucks. We got rain yesterday and everything seemed fine. And then it was rain overnight. Up around 9 a.m. It looks great. The rain was letting up. There doesn't seem to be any more rain till later on tonight. So they started off with 1-4 and 9, or it was like 1-4, 13 off the turf. They were going to run the stakes races later on, but then they come out later on just a little while ago and they're canceling race 7, the Saratoga Derby, and race 10, the Troy. They're going to move them to next weekend, August 10th. Ugh, that really screwed me up because I was in the middle of doing all this work. So if you can really hit that subscribe button and like, share alike, get these views up, I would really appreciate it because this is really throwing a monkey wrench into my day. So we're going to cover the races that they are actually running. And we're going to start with race number 8, the Test. That's 7 furlongs on dirt, 3-year-old fillies. I waffled a bit in the sloppy conditions, but I started with ways and means. You know, sometimes I kind of go through here and what I look for is the mud stats. And really, we're going to have to be careful with that because it doesn't appear to be any more rain. I know that the track is sloppy. I guess they sealed it. I don't know if it just said sloppy. It didn't really say sealed. So if they dig it up, it could dry out and be fast by the time we run the Whitney later on today. I don't really know exactly what's going to happen, but play it by ear, I guess. But I usually look for the limited starts, like less than 1,000, definitely 500 or less, really, most of, on the starts. But usually 15% and up is what I kind of look for. But Emery, the proof's in the pudding. Big win at going 6 in the mud at Saratoga to break his maiden. Never lost a sprint race. This is going to be a definite good choice. Denim and Pearls, a little bit sketchy because proof is in the pudding. Did not take well to the slop. Lost the slop here, but just really didn't look good in the 8 bells at all in the slop. So I'm not really sure what to think about that. But Brad Cox on turf, or I mean on dirt sprints, is really good. But the horse that I've waffled around on and got a lot more interest in, I still think Ways and Means is going to be okay. I don't think that Kentucky Oaks was her finest hour, but I think that she can run circles around this group if she's on her game, but she hasn't really shown it yet. So I like my main squeeze, the 5-horse. I liked her in the 8 bells, which she came through in a big way. And then I think just maybe stretched out to 1 1/8 in the Acorn, chasing Torpedo Anna wasn't the best idea. Did run 4th, was just a mile back of Torpedo Anna, which most horses are. So I think cutting back to 7 again and just a little bit sloppy track is going to improve. I like this horse to win the race. Bright Work is an interesting one coming off the layoff. I think has good vibes coming in as well. So basically, the play here is going to be The number 5, my main squeeze, hopefully get 5-1 or better, but maybe gets bet down a little bit. Hopefully maybe 7-2. I don't really know. I don't want to predict. But number 1, Emery is my next choice, and then I think some of the other ones underneath, like Bright Work. Uh, Obviously, Ways and Means can win this race, so you have to have Ways and Means in there as well. But I'm going to try to shoot for some value. I'm anticipating Ways and Means being bet down. But if it's not, then I will reconsider. I always have the right to change my mind. So we're going to move on to race number 9, which is the Lure. And they lured me in and then changed it to main track only. So all my top choices scratched out. I did list the scratch. Oh, I do have the scratches, by the way, on the day. So take a look at those. And this one brings into some interesting plays. I got a shout out my man Rich that I met at the Churchill Downs last month. He has a brother named Johnny, and Johnny's Fireball ran on Stephen Foster Day when I was out there, which that did not go his way. But we'll take a look. Kubrick's out. Forever Super's out. Swifter is an interesting one. Obviously, was trying turf for the first time, so has some dirt experience. Won on the mud at Aqueduct right here, but I think a bit outclassed and doesn't really have the speed that I think can contend here. Irish Aces out. Big Everest out. Here's Johnny's Fireball. So down here off ran second in this optional. Strong Quality's really good horse. Was 9 lengths back, but best of the rest. So I thought that was pretty good. 22% mud, 556 starts. That's the go zone for that rating. Obviously, there are some trends and tips that people give out for Saratoga. Norm Cassie shipping to 18% shipping here. I don't know if it's exactly from Churchill, but shipping. So I like the shipping. I like the drop in class. Ran in the Wise Dan, dropping down into this company. So all this says Johnny's Fireball could be live. You're not going to get 20-1. He's going to be a lot more noticeable with the scratches, which is unfortunate. But that one brings me down here to Pioneering Spirits, another interesting one as well. Has a win way down here, a monster 15 length win, 103 number in a stakes race down here in the slop at Aqueduct. That's interesting. 17%, 505 starts. That's interesting too. Linda Rice, interesting with Jose Ortiz. Linda Rice is one of those trendy ones that runs good on dirt routes here. More than looks out. Here's the one, main track only, film star Linda Rice once again. I didn't catch who was riding, but big 106 number. This one's going to be one to be reckoned with as well. Probably a likely favorite. So what I'll end up doing is playing the number 10 to win, but maybe have a look at Johnny's Fireball, number 6, small win bet, but plus place money and including definitely in some exotics. Moving on to race 11. Let's get after it. Race number 10 canceled. Race number 11 is your Whitney Stakes. Now, this one is going to be the 1.125 on the dirt, grade 1, 4 years old and up. Obviously, post time 17%, 511 mud starts. Nice. Brittany or Sheldon and Brittany, just really tough company here. They run strong. They definitely have slop and mud skills. 2 wins under the conditions. This could be a real threat to steal. I think it's going to steal a lot of money from National Treasure, who was going to be your favorite. And people are going to be talking. I don't think National Treasure is very good in the mud. Look at these 2 terrible, and we'll jump up. I've also said in a previous video that Disarm moves up 22%, 379 mud starts. Big move forward, could be a sleeper. But National Treasure down here, 2 back-to-back races, wet, fast, and mud, was awful. Just didn't get it done. Well, the Travers, not his distance. Like I said, I think 10 furlongs might be a little bit stretchy. I know he ran this one at 1.5 miles, the Belmont grade 1, which I have no idea where that came from. mile and 3/16, was running these long distance, but that's probably because I don't even know if Baffert cared it then or whatever, but Tim Yuck Teen was training it back then. So I just, that was just out for me. But you see, as he got back to the normal, just almost beat Cody's Wish at a mile, then won the just so much different of a horse now. I think he'll be fine. I looked at these two races down here, and he was paddling, didn't look right at all. It looks completely different now. So this horse, I think, is at 9 furlongs and down is tough. So I still like him on top. First Mission, probably some good slop. Ran really well in the slop, but I still think Ilmer Colo, who scratched out, was the best horse and drew away in hand. I just thought that race was kind of a little bit weak for a grade 2. Ilmer Colo out. Krupe, I like in the mud as well. So a lot of these are going to be staying the same for me. Got Irad on board. It's going to be closing late. A really good close to second behind a distant next in the Brooklyn. So Suburban, that was a big win. I had that one there. Nice 2.5 to 1 odds on that, I thought. Tumbarumba, obviously some decent, 16% with only 56 mud starts. That's pretty good, but really just not a little bit lower in the class range for me. Bright Future is an interesting one. I think could be deadly coming in here. Skippy Longstocking's going to run his race. So a lot of these guys, I'm keeping the same. Basically, I do move up Disarm a little, but I still say Natty Treasure wins this, and hopefully we get a little better than even money. So I'm going to play about the same that I had in my previous predictions: Natty Treasure to win, and then exotics with Post Time and Krupe, things of that nature. But you don't really want to completely dismiss Bright Future or Skippy underneath, especially in trifecta and exacta wagering. So if you want to do part wheels, that's the way I would take it. Race 12, 7 furlongs, allowance, fillies and mares, 3 years old. This is a good race. Track might be a lot faster by Post Time, so I don't know how the slop's going to hold up unless they leave it sealed. It's going to be cloudy and not a lot of wind, but it's just, if it's not raining, it's going to dry out. So that's just number 1, Bonadou, 20% mud, 1,700 starts. That's not terrible. Sired by Ghost Zapper, cutting back to a sprint. Gets Pratt. It could be interesting. Probably will get some decent odds there. Number 2, Striker. I'm kind of dialed in on this one. Speaking of dial, Striker has a dial. That one's Horatio De Paz, Kendrick Camouche. These guys have hooked up pretty good lately. 2 wins and 3 starts the last 14 days for this duo. 16% mud, that's fine, but just really strong speed figures. Second at a mile, so cutting back to 7, drops in class, shorter distance. All that says he looks good. I like the speed figures, running fast paces. Sometimes these horses get out on the lead and they're hard to catch in the slop. So Striker has a dial, is probably going to be my top choice. Pass on 3, pass on 4. Some of these have scratched. I don't have it off the top of my head, but I do know who's in and who's out. St. Benedict's Prep is the next choice, logically. So that's Linda Rice. Jose Lescano could offer some value in this particular event. Lescano not having the best meet so far, definitely, but could be due for some positive regression and often gets overlooked at the betting window. But St. Benedict's Prep, probably going to be the higher of the 2 odds. But what I'm going to end up doing is betting a 2-horse exacta box with the number 2 and the 7, most likely. But I do think this 8 Nikitas is pretty interesting. Chad Brown, Irad Ortiz, but was quite a distant third when I went back and watched this race to St. Benedict's Prep. So, but I don't think it had a bad trip at all. Is adding blinkers, which makes a difference, and is adding Irad Ortiz, which could improve all those chances. So can't completely dismiss So I thought I'd play a 2-7 exacta box. And maybe if I would do some trifectas, I'd do 2-7 over like a 2-7-8. Uh, and then maybe 2-7, include the one in there as well for a trifecta. I think that's a good way to go. Let's round it out with race 13 and get out of here. Okay, mile and an eighth. And I can't recall. I think they're keeping it at 9 furlongs. If I remember reading it right, they're not changing the distance. They do announce if they do that, but I believe they are keeping it the same. So, whole lot of scratches going on here. So we're just going to go right to the horses that we think are going to do well here. Cyber Ninja, 25% mud stats or start 212 mud starts, 25% mud sire. I like that. The speed figures are not quite all that, but you can see one most recently off the turf at 127,000. So 26% trainer winning the last race. Bill Mott, Junior Alvarado. Nothing wrong with that. The only bad thing is it's not going to go unnoticed because of all the scratches. I think there's only 6 horses in this race total. So what we're looking at is, yes, 6 horses. So down here is the one that's really going to get all the money. And some of these are in, some of them are not. Calyx out. Phineas, I forget that this one's in, but I don't like it particularly well. But Drake's Passage ran third behind Crouppy and Next in the Brooklyn, and actually was a very good race for this horse. Led most of the way and then just couldn't hold on at a 1.375 down the stretch. So we're cutting back in distance, dropping in class. Much the best here. So put the 15 singled on top. Over the top of the 5. You could do a straight if you wanted to do the cold exacta route. But I think that I'm going to take a shot on the 5. I'm definitely going to box, but I think I might take a shot on a small win bet, depending on what the odds are on the 5 to win this race, because often favorites get beat, and often they get beat at Saratoga. Often they get beat in the last race of the day. So that's going to cover us for the races. I hope you got something out of this. I hope you win some money today. I hope you subscribe and you click that like button and you tune in next time for some more horse racing fun. Until then, we will see you soon.